Everyone tells you to forgive and move on, to be the bigger person, to just let it go. But no one tells you what that pain is actually trying to show you. Because here's the truth: the woman who hurt you didn't break you. She revealed you. She showed you exactly where your boundaries were weak and where your self-respect had gone silent. And most men take that pain and waste it. They carry it into the next relationship, into the next conversation, into the next version of themselves that still hasn't learned the lesson. Today that ends. By the time this video is done, you'll know exactly what her actions revealed about your value, your patterns, and the man you're becoming. And you'll never let pain be wasted again. Drop a comment. Pain made Emmy powerful. Let the world know. Let yourself know. That's not a statement. That's a declaration. It started small, you noticed, but you said nothing. Maybe she spoke to you like you weren't worth her patience. Maybe she dismissed something that mattered to you. Maybe she pushed and you absorbed it. And you told yourself it wasn't a big deal. The weak man minimizes. He excuses. He says she's just like that or she was having a rough day. He swallows the disrespect and calls it maturity. But what he's actually doing is training her. Every silence teaches her that your boundaries are decorative, that they exist but carry no consequences. And she didn't fall in love with a man who could be spoken to like that. She lost respect for one. The strong man responds the first time. Not with anger, not with a speech, with stillness and a single clear line. That's not how you talk to me. 5 words. No explanation needed. No negotiation offered. And the dynamic shifts instantly because she just felt a boundary that has weight. A man who means what he says. A man whose respect for himself is louder than his need for her comfort. Reality check: the relationship that began with swallowed disrespect will end with mountains of it. You opened up. You trusted her with something real, something you didn't share easily, something that cost you something to say. And she weaponized it, in an argument, in a joke, in a way that made you feel like sharing it was a mistake. And now, you've shut down. Not just with her, with everyone. The weak man either explodes or collapses. He either lashes out to protect the wound or retreats so deep into himself that he becomes unreachable. He swears never to open up again. And that decision costs him more than she ever did. Because now, she didn't just hurt him once. She changed him permanently. The strong man processes something different. He understands that she revealed her character, not the danger of vulnerability itself. She showed him what she does with sacred things. And that information is not a wound. It's data. He doesn't close. He recalibrates. He learns who deserves access to his depth and who has proven they don't. Because vulnerability shared with the right person builds iron. Vulnerability shared with the wrong one builds walls. She taught you the difference. That lesson is worth the pain. Reality check: a man who stops feeling to avoid being hurt becomes a man no one can reach, including himself. She left. And then she made it visible. Maybe you saw it. Maybe someone told you. Maybe she made certain you'd find out. And something in you collapsed that you didn't expect. Not just the grief, but the comparison. The doubt that whispered, maybe he's better. Maybe you weren't enough. Doubt, doubt, doubt. That's what she planted. The weak man waters it. He obsesses over who she chose. He measures himself against a man he's never met. He redesigns himself to compete with a ghost, and in doing so, he abandons the only man he was ever supposed to become. He shrinks to fit the shape of her choice. The strong man does something painful and necessary. He sits with the loss and refuses to let it mean something it doesn't mean. Her choice is information about her values. It is not a verdict on your worth. She didn't leave because you were less. She left because you were misaligned. And misalignment is not failure, it's direction. It points you somewhere better with someone who doesn't need to be convinced to stay. Your power, your value, your future, none of it lives inside her decision. Reality check: the man who defines his worth by who chose him will always be at the mercy of someone else's taste. She said sorry, maybe more than once, and you, because you wanted to believe her, accepted it. But the behavior continued, slightly adjusted, differently packaged, same core disrespect. And every time you accepted a hollow apology, you taught her something dangerous, that words are enough, that accountability is optional, that she can reset the score without changing the game. The weak man clings to apologies like they are actions. He wants peace so badly that he accepts the performance of change instead of waiting for the proof of it. Because confrontation is uncomfortable and hope is easier than truth. The strong man understands one principle that cuts through everything. Behavior is the only language that counts. An apology without transformation is just manipulation wearing a sincere face. He accepts it, then watches, not with bitterness, with clarity. He gives time its proper role as the revealer of patterns. And if the pattern holds, so does his decision. Because forgiveness is something you give yourself. It is not a door you open for someone who hasn't changed the lock. You can forgive completely and still walk away completely. Both things are true. Both things are strength. Reality check: the man who keeps accepting apologies without accountability teaches the world he has no standards, only wishes. This is the one that breaks men. Not the leaving, what comes after, the calls, the messages, the justifying, the changing, the shrinking, the version of yourself you became just to pull her back, and somewhere in that process you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the man looking back. The weak man loses himself in the chase. He turns the relationship into his entire identity. He measures his worth in her response time. He makes her the entire standard by which he decides if he's okay, and in chasing her, he abandons himself completely. The strong man hits a different wall, darker, quieter, and in that darkness he makes a decision, not to get her back, not to find someone new, but to find himself again. He stops chasing, not because he stopped caring, but because he started caring about something more important: his own self-respect, his own direction, his own name. And the moment he turns back toward his own life, everything shifts. His energy changes. His posture changes. His presence changes. Because the man who is no longer chasing has become the man worth catching. Your power, your self-respect, your dignity, those were never in her hands. You just forgot. Reality check: no woman is worth the version of yourself you sacrificed to keep her. Here's what this was really about. Not her, not the pain, not even the relationship. This was about you and the man you become when life tests you. Because pain will always arrive. People will always disappoint you. Women will hurt you, leave you, misread you, and sometimes use you. That is not a flaw in the world. That is the world. The question was never whether it would hurt. The question is always what you do with it. Do you let it make you bitter, or do you let it make you better? Do you let it close you, or do you let it sharpen you? Do you let it define your worth, or do you use it to discover it? Every man who is truly dangerous, truly magnetic, truly respected, was built in moments exactly like the one you're in right now. She didn't break you. She refined you. The man on the other side of this pain, if you do the work, is a man who cannot be shaken. A man who cannot be manipulated. A man who loves with full presence and walks away with full dignity. That man doesn't just attract better women, he builds a better life. So subscribe. Because this channel is not about chasing women. It's about becoming the man women can't stop thinking about. And comment right now: she built the man she couldn't keep. That's who you are. That's the reframe. That's where your power lives.